Hi, it's me, Mark Orwoll, at it again. Take a look at this and come right back here.
Let the swing begin. Mark Orwoll is at it again, and that cat is swinging. Yeah, that cat is swinging. The party don't stop.
Yes, it's almost that time of year again, the last Thursday of November, the day when families gather around the communal table, join hands in thanks, and turn on the telly to watch the presentation of the UK Men's Shed Awards. Let's start by agreeing that men, generally speaking, are gross and solitary creatures. They smell funny, talk when they should shut up, fart with wild abandon, and scratch their anatomy at inappropriate moments. And they need a place to do all that in peace. In America, we have the man cave. Perhaps it's in the basement, others are in the garage, yet others are in Mar-a-Lago. In England, it's the backyard shed. My own man cave is above my garage. During Superstorm Sandy in 2012, a tree fell onto our rickety, tilting 100-year-old garage, which was probably a horse barn before that. Previously, I had nailed 2x4s along the interior studs in the hopes that they might stabilize the structure and prevent it from toppling over in a light breeze. But when the tree came down, so did the garage. I saw the damage the next morning, and despite the building's iffy hopes for a viable future, I was horrified by what confronted me. "Oh no! Kathy, come look at this!" Kathy surveyed the damage out the kitchen window and smiled. "Score!" Fist pump. Thanks to homeowners insurance, we rebuilt the garage and added a second story at extra cost, which now serves as my office, radio and TV room, music studio, and yoga, meditation, intentional living space. Just kidding. I don't have a radio in here. Only recently did I learn about sheds in the UK, the equivalent of man caves in the US. A shed in England might be exactly what the name implies. A rundown shack meant to store garden equipment in the backyard of a semi-detached house in Ipswich, but with a beer fridge. Other sheds are architectural gems, large and comfortable, with sound systems, televisions permanently tuned to World Cup cricket, elaborate bars, and urinals. The shed is where Englishmen and their mates go to discuss the latest doings in Parliament, consider whether Brexit was successful, debate the merits of John Locke's influential an essay concerning human understanding, and then drink real cask ale until they are pissed out of their gourds. There they tinker, think, and be themselves, as disgusting as that may be. They fart, burp, and scratch to within an inch of their lives. Join us, won't you? Traditionally, an Englishman would co-opt the garden shed out back for his own selfish purposes, leaving the shovels and hose in the open air to rust picturesquely in the non-stop English rain. Increasingly, though, men buy their sheds from online stores and have them delivered. They are magnificent. Granted, some of them look like little barns, others like dollhouses, still others like, well, sheds. But when sheds are built by determined men, they take on a monumental aspect. Example, Wheaties Bar in Weymouth. Their motto, "Beer is the answer." I can't remember the question. It was voted the Pub Shed of the Year in 2021. Yes, this is a thing. Not just Shed of the Year, Pub Shed of the Year. Wheaties was built and designed by the mononymical Ian, a veteran of the Royal Navy and clearly a lover of pubs. I've never met him, but I love him. On the wall of Wheaties is a sign advertising the price for a barman to say you're not there when your wife calls. Just had one drink and left. Service fee, £4. A Cubanisto rum neon sign with a skull's head lines the wall, a dartboard, obviously, and an intriguing set of bar pumps. Here behind the bar, said Ian, grasping the pump handles lovingly, the bar pumps came from the HMS Royal when I was on there. Thought I'd build a pub around them. Which brings to mind a question. British Navy ships have bars? See, this is why the Brits are so sophisticated, while we in America are barely climbing out of the primordial ooze. Wayfair, that online Costco, sells sheds ranging from $5,000 to $15,000 and more. I'm partial to the Star Barn outdoor wood storage shed, an almost church-like structure that comes complete with all necessary hardware and detailed assembly instructions. Yours for just $13,552.99, shipping included. Elsewhere on the World Wide Web, you'll find the cottage-style garden shed Myrtle from Solid Build for $6,596. The 12x12 Western Red Cedar Sunshed Garden Shed Sunlit Greenhouse and Hobby Studio Kit from Outdoor Living today for $7,995. And one of my favorites, the Cedar Shed USA Farmhouse Backyard Guest Bedroom Craft She Shed Kits. Available now for only $10,999.99. I would feel like Daniel Boone if I had that as a man shed, even though it's called a she shed. Kathy. Mark, it's time to come in for dinner. Mark, me. Why do you harass me like that, woman? I'm busy trying to discover the Cumberland Gap. Some will tell you that the shed movement began in Australia. I wouldn't put it past them. They're sneaky that way. But I'm not ruling out the English. The British Empire still has a strong hold over its former constituencies, including Canada, Ireland, and, yes, the United States. Whether you build your own shed or you pick one up from Wayfair, delivery included, just remember to check with your local building department if it's up to code. And if you plan to build a pub shed, bless you, my child, also check with your state alcoholic beverage control. Otherwise, things might get out of hand while you're discussing John Locke's essays. Well, I'm Mark Orwoll. I'm at it again. Please subscribe, and I hope to see you here next week.
Yeah, that cat is swinging. The party don't stop when